Welcome back to Tax Talk with Hey Hey, where we offer simplified tax planning and mentorship to help 6 and 7-figure CEOs ditch the daily hustle by achieving financial independence from your business by increasing your purchasing power and diversifying your source of passive income. Through financial mentorship, realistic goal setting, and simplified tax planning, without having to hustle for the rest of your life, with the guarantee of the optimal roadmap to move you towards your desired time freedom. Hey everyone, welcome back to Tax Talk with Hey Hey, where obviously we haven't been talking about taxes lately, but I am your host, Suhey Piedra with Prominence Business. I am an enrolled agent, federally licensed to do taxes across the United States. Today, though, we're not going to be talking much about taxes, but we have here our dear friend, Coco Owchar. Owchar. And she is a dear friend of mine and has been my client, but also she's a sunshine. And I wanted to bring her on and have her tell us a little bit about what she does. But before we get started with all that good stuff, tell us something personal that you want our audience to know about you. Who is Coco?
Well, I married my college English teacher. You'll have to stay tuned for more. He's only 3 years older, but I was behind in school. I really never fit into school. I really didn't like it, so I kind of fell behind and was like a late bloomer.
Uh-huh.
And then he was a genius, advanced in bookish things. And so he was teaching already at like age 26, and I went back to school at 23, and he was my English teacher. And how I picked him is I saw the last name and I was like, what's an Owchar? And then he said when he got his class roster, he's like, I've never met a Colette, because that's my full name. That's what the cops call me when they pull me over. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little fun fact on how we met. So we were meant to be.
Awesome.
So everything does have a plan. Don't think you're too slow or you're too fast, because you're just right.
And you've been married for?
25 years this week.
Wow, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. I know I saw on social media you guys were celebrating. So
yes,
that's
we're
amazing.
very happily married. Like, we both say it, I don't just love him, I like him.
That is sweet. What isn't there to like about Nick?
I know, he's amazing. He is. To know him is to love him.
Well, thank you for that. So I know that you have multiple hats and you do a couple different things, and you are just this amazing energy. So I know you sell Juice Plus, and I am a firm believer in what Juice Plus does for people. So we're not going to today talk all about Juice Plus or anything, but what is Juice Plus for those that don't know what that is or have never been introduced to it?
I like to say I am an affiliate, a partner with Juice Plus, because they are the company, but I am Coco, and I believe in the product. It's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. It's like dehydrated, concentrated, amazing powders that you can take daily to bridge the gap between what you eat daily and what you really should be eating.
And because with foods being so processed lately, do we really get the nutrients we need from, our daily regular food? And so with Juice Plus, I know I've taken it. My parents have taken it, and I don't want to say all of a sudden you feel great, right? Because that's not really what it does. It's not a magic pill. But I think over time of you taking it, you notice a difference with your aches and pains and all that other stuff. And when you notice that you haven't gotten sick in a while, you've noticed that your immune system is up.
Yeah.
So I love everything that it has, all the nutrients that it has, but also taking advantage of like the energy that it gives me. I've noticed so many different things when I'm good about taking it every day.
I think what happens is I've been taking it since 2008. You notice when you stop taking it. You're like, oh, yeah. That's when you notice the difference. It's kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When something's gone, you miss it.
Right. No, I agree. And then you're an instructor.
I've been teaching group fitness classes for over 18 years, and it's called Floor Core and More with Coco. It's just something that I put together. I'm also a 200-hour nationally certified yoga instructor. So I teach a class called Yoga Sculpt. If you're local to the Glendora area, I teach in person. So
But your classes are so much fun.
I love it.
I mean, it's still working out, but you're just laughing the whole time at the things that
It's a comedy show. It's comedy. It's jokes. It's a concert. You're going to get tips you never thought you'd wanted to know. Yeah. So I feel like it just has like that center stage energy that I'm just really attracted to. And so like it beams out.
Yes, I would agree. And then you did this, what is it called? Life design, human design, right? Human design course or
a certification. So I found it the interwebs, on the great Instagram.
Yes.
I found it came across my path and it just piqued my interest because it is described as like, chakras, astrology, science, like they got together, they had a baby, and here it is. And so I think that a lot of people, I was into the Enneagram, but I feel like interpretation on that can be dependent on the mood you're in. And this is just a blueprint. You have to have your time of birth, the place of birth, your date of birth, the city of birth. And from that, you get this blueprint that's just unique to you, which is amazing.
And that's what we were going to talk about today. So when I talk about business and when I talk about how we created our business and the journey that I've been on a personal level, I have found that, coaching has helped me a lot, has brought clarity in areas that I could not see. So my coaches will always point things out that maybe I'm missing for whatever reason. And so that has allowed me to, in my opinion, succeed or get through things a lot quicker than I would have had I not had that guidance, right? And in different levels, personal level and in business. So I'm very blessed to have found the people that I have surrounded myself with in that arena that have helped me through so many different things, right? But I also have found that in common with other business owners. When I bring business owners or entrepreneurs to my podcast, one common thing that we share is going to be something like the guidance of a business coach, the struggles of trying to figure things out on our own, the aligning ourselves with not just our career and our business, but our family and other things. So when human design was introduced to me, or it was something that I had never heard of, the description of it was just like, what do you mean a map? What do you mean this, And so I didn't want somebody to like read my fortune or, give me a crystal ball description of what my life is going to be like. But it was interesting that it wasn't even that. It wasn't even based on any of that. So little did I know, here my dear friend knows all about human design, right?
Yeah.
So I reached out to her and I'm like, hey, I need an appointment. I need you to tell me what this is. So tell our audience, if no one's heard of it, what are the benefits of it? And then let's jump in and read my design. I want to know what you discovered about me.
Okay, so human designs, there's 5 types. Manifester, generator, manifesting generator, that's what I am. Projector and reflector. And so that is like the generalization. So you, my dear, are a generator. And so think of the term generator. You're like,
generate money. I'm just kidding.
No, it's energy.
Generate energy.
So these are all different energy types, but the generator, like you want a neighbor that has a generator if like the apocalypse happens, right? You want to get to the generator. They have the energy, right? So everybody, do you have a generator? If something happens, you are a generator.
Got it.
So for you as a generator, people are attracted to your energy. And therefore, you want to protect your energy. So what happens with human design is, when your soul comes into your body, when you're in your mom, it knows what it wants to do. It's like God sent you here. You have a purpose. He has the plan. You're ready. Then you're born. And all this conditioning comes in. And so we have an energy, all of our cells and everything are made of energy.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to be touching a pulse and I let go, it would die. But like, it's like this energy we put together.
Right.
So you come out into the world and your energy field is about 3 feet around you. And then things start coming at you through your parents, through your environment, religion, whatever it is, people putting on you as a child. This is the way it should be. This is the way it should be. You should be polite, be grateful, be this, be that. And so like the beginning of your life up until 30, you're just figuring it out. You really are. So I love working with young girls that are like 18 to 20 to like the 30s because they're still in the good stuff and
phase.
Yeah, and you can talk to them, and I've done many with them, and they're just like they're like so excited. Their moms are like, what did you say to them? They have so much more confidence because they're not so outside themselves. There's so much social media and so many people telling you what to do that when you get aligned and connected with what your true purpose is, it's easier for you to set those boundaries to protect your energy, to protect your purpose, and also to release the attachments that people have put upon you, if that makes sense.
Yes, of course.
So they'll be like, I'll reach back out to them and I'll say, how are you feeling like a week later? And they'll be like, oh my gosh, I just keep writing in my journal. You're doing the right thing. You're on the right path, So for generators, for yourself, you are the world's energy. Okay. So when you feel lit up, that's a yes. So if things are coming to you, and you're like, I'm not so sure. Then you want to sleep on it. If you wake up in that energy the next day and you're still smiling from the inside, it's a yes. But there is no gray area for you. So if it's a maybe, still, it's a no.
Got it.
Does that make sense? So you're just like, it's an energy field. You're feeling it in your sacral. Now there's the type, the generator, right? Where it's like energy, fun, great. Everybody wants to be around you, and you know what you want. And you probably knew what you wanted from a young age, but the conditioning was
right,
there.
of course.
So, you're an emotional authority. So first you want to know what you are, generator. Then it means your authority is also like what your intuition is, what drives you, and you're an emotional. So you want to use words instead of like, I think I'm going to do this, or I think I'm going to do that. You want to be like, I feel like I should do this. I feel like I should do that. And you could have been told as a child or as a young kid, oh, you're so sensitive. You're too sensitive. And really, that was one of your superpowers. And so that's why it's important to know these things, because the things that you were most told to like simmer down, quiet up, those are the things that you were like, no, this is my gift.
Right.
So with an emotional generator, you want to give yourself 24 hours. So I don't know if you've had this happen to you before, but somebody's like, if somebody came in tonight and they're like, hey, do you want to do blah bitty blah tomorrow, whatever blah bitty blah is, and you're like, yeah, okay, and then the next day you wake up, you're like, why did I say yes to that?
Yeah.
So your number one thing is, can I get back to you?
Yeah.
Give me 24 hours. In 24 hours, your emotions have like kind of stabled out, and you can know from your energy, from your generator self, this lights you up.
Got it.
If you're doing it because you think you should, like for instance, networking. If there's certain networking events that you're just like, I have too much on my plate, I really don't want to do this, but I should do this for my business.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. You need to listen to your intuition, your body. If there's a voice saying, I don't want to do it, then don't do it. And the world is like, push through, get out of your comfort zone. Sure. But it has to still light you up. If you're nervous, do it. And you're still excited. Does that make sense? But if you're feeling burnout, frustration, that's when you know you're not aligned.
Yeah.
You should feel excited, satisfaction. What a great day this was. This is amazing.
It makes a lot of sense. I do say a lot of the time, I feel like this or I feel like that. I catch myself listening to that. I want to feel good about things, But you're right. When I was little, I was considered very emotional. And even when we are sisters and not, business partners and nothing to do with the business, but I will be told like, that I am emotional about things,
Yeah.
or I attach myself to things
Mhm.
in different ways. But that is me. I am a very
That is your
emotional
gift.
creature. So
And the next thing, so if you're in a relationship, an intimate relationship, sisterly relationships,
Mhm.
the goal would be still listen to your emotion, but don't put it's a wave. So don't put the tidal wave in their face. Give it a minute, give it a few hours, then come back with your waves, but still speak from I feel. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to take a sip.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's water, not vodka. Okay, next. The other thing that we have on here, which I have your chart, is your personality type. Your personality type is called the easy breezy genius.
Mhm.
So it has two parts: the part of how you see yourself and the part of how others see you.
Mhm.
And so for you, you see yourself as the authority because it's true. So you might have things that just come to you easily,
Mhm.
and people are like, how do you know that? Or how do you know that? And you might be tempted to explain yourself, but you don't have to. The world is always like, how do you know that? What's your education? What's this? What's
Right,
that?
right.
And there just are some people that are born knowing.
Mhm.
You are that. And that side of you has a hermit side. And that's okay. You want to honor that. So there might be some days where you just want to be in your jams,
Right.
watching a show, having a second cup of coffee, living your best dream life, or you want to go somewhere with someone and just be away. Honor that side.
Got it.
Honor that side. Because the other side of the easy breezy genius is the people person. The people see you. That's how people see you. They see Suhei as like this people person. She's like out there wheeling, dealing, making it happen. And that's also true. That's also true. But to honor both is very important. If you're feeling in frustration or you need time, give it.
Yeah.
So just listen to both sides of that. We can hold both emotions at the same time.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Of course. And I mean, I love to network, right? But there'll be times where they'll be like, I missed you at the networking event. I was like, I know, but it was like weird. Like I just didn't feel like going. And so
Honor it.
I just don't go. Or I'll wake up in the morning and then I'll be like you said, I don't really want to go to the office, or I don't want to go to work, or I don't want to do what I normally would do. And it's weird because I will most of the time try to honor that. Obviously, if I have a booked schedule, I can't. But if it's something that I can move around, or I blocked off the day for whatever reason, I will. I'll stay home and maybe read a book, or like you said, watch a show or something.
Exactly.
But it's like
recharge
odd.
it.
It's odd,
It
feels odd, even though maybe it shouldn't.
It should not feel odd because the world tells us like if you shut off, you're a flake.
Mm-hmm.
You're not somebody that's reliable. But they don't want to see the person that you become as a burnout. You know what I mean? So you have to honor that. It isn't odd. I'm also an easy breezy genius.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, people see me as a people person. People see you.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't even know. But even in a relationship, there's going to be times where you want to be super lovey-dovey, and there's going to be times where you're like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like you just got to do it, girl. Okay, I'm trying to find, I have my notes here for you because I want to make sure that I do this right for you. So, with you as a generator, it's how you do things. It's called responding. So you are a responder, whether it's like a song that makes you think of something,
mm-hmm.
or you go to a place, there's a smell, there's a this, there's a that. You're going to be like repelled by it, or you're going to be like drawn to it. It could even be like what I'm wearing. You could be like, oh, I love green. I'm going to wear more green, or whatever it is. This is how Suhei makes decisions. So you're not just going to be like sitting here with your journal trying to think. It's going to be like you hear something, you see something, you go somewhere, and you're like revved up and you're like, yes, or you're like, never again.
Yeah.
Same with people. You want to pay attention to how you respond to people, how you respond to atmospheres.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I could literally be driving to work and listening to something, and I show up and I'm like super energetic, or vice versa, or whatever. Or when I go to events, right? The girls make fun of me because I'm at a conference like every other week or something, But I'm like, you don't understand. Like I go in there and I love being around that because I feel like it pumps up my energy.
Yeah, you're gonna listen to that.
Yeah,
you're gonna listen to that, and then when it's called yourself and you're not self. So you'll know that you're aligned with yourself when you feel the satisfaction. A satisfaction is like, oh, that was so yummy and delicious. And I'm not just talking about food, situations, like how you feel at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in frustration, it's like, it looks like I'm blocked, I'm stuck, I feel bleh, like all of that.
Yeah.
And so you want to look at that day or that situation and be like, what was it there that was different from the day that I felt aligned in myself?
Yeah.
And then delete it, whether it's people, clients.
Yeah.
Like, don't think I have to work with everyone. I have to be with everyone.
Yeah.
I have to do with everyone. And maybe like you can say like, I mean, you have a large family and you can look back at your childhood and kind of get clues too. Were there things that you felt obligated you had to do as a child? We all did.
Yeah.
That you were not doing. Stop it. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
No,
like that's the thing. And then being a mom, you can then lead that way. Like if you're sensing your kids, I think as parents, if we were parented a certain way, we're like, I know you don't like your broccoli, still eat it, whatever. You know, you're not going to just let them have Cocoa Puffs, but they're going to know their bodies too. And we're like shutting it off.
Got it. Yeah. And that's so tough to change that, right?
Very.
Because we're so conditioned that we have to do certain things this way. Mm-hmm. And also because we mimic, right? So our parents did it to us and now we're doing it to our kids, and it just continues. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things I loved about when, you know, we read this is just more of, oh, like I'm not weird or
you're not. Or you're awesomely weird.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool to be weird.
Yeah.
Let's talk to Coco. And then like we each have our own style of manifesting. So there's non-specific and specific. Yours is non-specific. Mm-hmm. So again, you know it. We've been part of groups together where it's like, this is how it's done. These are the ways you're talking. This is this. And sometimes it doesn't align.
Right.
And you're like, well, this is how I'm supposed to do it. That's why you and I also are like, we have to be our own bosses. We have to create our own joy. And what I'm doing too is my passion is to lead women to be aligned with their own joy. You create your own sparkle, you create your own joy, and then it spreads out into the world. So your gift is being aligned with yourself.
This is crazy though, because I'm thinking of all of those people out there who, you know, because I was one of them, right? And when we work a regular job, when we, you know, follow the path of life, which is you graduate school, maybe you go to college, maybe you don't, but you have to find a job. What are they telling you the whole time? Your parents, that, you know, your society is you have to get a job, you have to get a job. But no one tells you have to be happy in your job or that you're supposed to be happy when you go to work every day. Mm-hmm. And so what ends up happening is you see all these miserable people working because they have to work, but they're not where they need to be. Like it's not in alignment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So if what I tell people is if somebody has a regular job, I do have clients like that, and I will talk to them and I'll be like, tell me what you love about your job. Yeah. Because as I see here, these are the things that you love. Is that in your job? Yes. I've had people, you know, court reporters, business owners.
So like maybe identifying the areas that.
So yeah, what do you love about your job? I love that I make a ton of money at this job. Yeah. Okay. That is something, right? It doesn't have to be. So can you just be grateful for that and then find the things that you really don't like and maybe cut them out of that job? You can find joy in your job too, because you just have to find that part that sparks you that got it.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because in my mind, I'd be like, you have to change, you have to switch it, you have to let go.
No.
But you can honestly just with your guidance or just by looking at it a little bit different, focus on the good things. Yeah. So that you could keep moving forward in your current situation.
Think outside the box. I have people that, you know, they think they have to have a regular job, whatever that means, because they need benefits. Well, as you know, you carry your own benefits. You find the joy in your job and then you buy your benefits. Yeah. Like you don't have to rely on this job for that. So back to you and your type of manifesting, you're a non-specific, which means it's very important for you to just identify what you love doing, what your goal is, but not how it's going to happen. People are doing dream boards, vision boards. That's not for you. It is not. In fact, if you try to plan it too much, you're not going to get what you're supposed to get because you're blocking out the how. So if you're just like, I know I want to travel. I know I want to go to Italy. I know I want this. do not figure out the how.
Yeah.
Let God send you the how. Or the people that are going to get you the how.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense because I told you, I was like, no wonder I don't, like, people ask me, well, how are you going to get there? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to get there. And they're like, no. You have to have specific details about how you're going to get there. And I'm just like, well, that's very overwhelming because I don't know the details.
And that's up.
But you're right. And then I feel blocked and I feel shut down because you're right. I'm not in alignment with it. But see, I didn't know this stuff. And when she was telling me this, I was like, no wonder.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
And so that's another thing. When you get a human design coaching session with me, I'm not telling your fortune. I'm just connecting you back to you. And you're like, a whole new world. Like, but it's in there and you're like, yes, this is me. It's more of affirming who you are, who you're meant to be, and making you decide, yes, I'm on the right path. I know me.
Yeah.
Why are other people telling me who I am?
Yeah.
It's
not
right.
I think that's what I felt when we went through all of this, was more of, I'm okay. This is who I am. And it's okay for me to feel this way.
Yeah.
Or for me to believe in, like you said, I don't need to know the hows and all this other stuff when I keep reading or others tell me this is how it needs to be, but it doesn't align with me. So that's why it's not that I don't want to do it, but I was fighting something that just didn't feel right, you know?
Yeah.
So makes perfect sense.
And then your digestion is open taste, which means like if you feel like having strawberries and a half a banana every morning, you're going to have strawberries and a half a banana every morning. Like you like a consistent, like something you can rely on. And it's okay for you to try things that are new and be like, no. But it's also okay if you want to have sushi every day for the rest of your life. Like you get to decide.
I'm very easy breezy, literally.
Yeah. Easy breezy. It's in your chart. And then your spidey sense. So everybody has a sixth sense and yours is smell, which means like you can smell a rat. You can smell a fake out person, and also smell is very important to you. So you want to make sure that you're keeping like fragrances you can be very sensitive to, stick to what works with you. And you want to be clear, like when you have a cold, it's not great. You want to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So everything is connected to smell for you. And that even goes to your wants, your needs, who you're working with, who your clients are. And if you sense it, that it's not right for you, it's okay to be like, no.
Yeah.
And the number one thing for generators too is not just knowing what to say yes to, but for sure saying no more often.
Yeah.
The more no's you give, the right yeses come. Okay. So does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Awesome. And there's one more thing for here. So you were an emotional authority. That means like that's where your decision making comes from. And then also you are still an emotional on how you feel things. And so your emotions are you're all feelsies. So it's very important for you to listen to that.
Right. It's weird. I known all along that I'm very emotional and I'm very feelsies, right? But when everything around you tells you, or it makes it seem like it's bad, I'll cry. If you're telling me, you're going through something, like I emotionally all of a sudden feel it, but they call me Chiona, which is a crybaby, right? My sisters not necessarily my sisters, but my family or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's easy for me to get emotionally involved and cry or have this energy about whatever's going on. And I'm like, I can't help it. Like, that's how I am. But it's always been like, oh, you're just a crybaby, But when you started telling me all this stuff, I was like, no, that's not that I'm a crybaby. It's that I'm all feelsies inside.
Yes. And then it's just this conditioning, outside conditioning. So when I have, like what I had with you, then you also want to talk about releasing the attachments that have come to you. So if you're feeling blocked, also when you're like maybe not in your not self or frustration, then you want to do the releasing activities, which is, I release and then just write everything down, then rip it up, throw it away, don't reread it because it puts it back in your body. Yeah. And then usually you'll feel like, woof, lighter. Yeah. And things. I
mean, as crazy as sometimes this stuff sounds, right? I've done so many things that are out of my norm or comfort zone just because I wanted to see, okay, what is everyone talking about, And I have found I'm a math and numbers, very logical person. Like I want to know how things make sense.
That's your gift of discernment and smell.
Stuff like this sometimes doesn't make sense, right? Stuff like when they're telling you how one thing will lead to the other. And I'm just like, that just doesn't make sense, But it doesn't necessarily have to make sense for us to see that it's true. Yeah. And I come across very serious. I come across, they call me, the bitch resting face, whatever whatever that.
Resting bitch face. Let me help you.
There, thank you, right? It doesn't matter. I am not. I am totally the opposite.
No.
But I am very yes and no. And that is why, right? Because it just
black
doesn't.
And white.
Yeah, it doesn't
You're
feel
black
right.
and white. There's no gray.
And I'm sorry, because sometimes people, not clients necessarily, but it doesn't matter who, right? They come with drama, and I'm like, look, it's either this or this, and they're like, but, and I'm like, there's no buts.
And so that goes with your smell and your life theme, which your life theme is in every area of your life, and your literal life theme is planning to help make deals and exchanges where everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
Gosh, you just said it.
And that's like, really back in the day, it would be like someone has to lose for me to win. And it's like, no. And if you're working with Sue Hay, like having the sense of smell is also numbers.
Yeah.
So you like things precise.
Right.
And everything has to add up.
Yeah.
And you are like, just like your sign says of prominence, like you are a money management and tax person, and you're like, let me help you invest your money. Yes, because it's literally in you.
Yeah.
It's not even something you're like, I think I want to do this. It's like it came out of you.
Right.
Right. And just like with me, I'm a manifesting generator. I was always told, my parents, like, she talks too much in class. She daydreams. She this, she that. She won't sit still. When I was 3, my mom couldn't find me. The neighbor called. She's like, hey, Coco's over here. Can she have dinner? Because I would just start knocking on doors in the neighborhood. Like, will somebody talk to me? So it's in you. And then the conditioning is like, calm down.
Right.
Be quiet. Know your place. Children should be seen and not heard. Like, and then think of if you have a son. I have 2 sons. One of my sons is an emotional authority, and one of my sons is a sacral. So, like, you're told not to cry, not by me.
Yeah.
It's like, let it out, baby. But the world, it's like, you're not a man if you cry, or so, like, you can, that's actually brave as a man to cry, because you're being vulnerable. And that is scary.
Gosh. And this is what I find so intriguing, so interesting. Tie it back to how you would see this aligning with, or how this would help somebody who is like an entrepreneur like myself, or the people I surround myself with, where, sometimes we just feel alone. We feel out of place. We wonder if we're doing the right thing. And, is this all worth it? I challenge myself almost every day and saying, things like, why? Why should I do this? When is enough? And I'm just like, I don't want to die down my energy if it feels good,
Yes. So I would say it's really important for people to know this, because then they feel seen and heard. And I'm an emotional. I feel that is the number one thing, is people want to be seen and heard. And you're getting validated that you're not, like you said, weird. Yeah. Even though weird is cool. But
what does that mean, right?
Society's putting out there like, it's business. It's not personal. It's this. It's like, but everything is personal because you are a human.
Right.
And so for me, just letting people know, like, oh, I've tried, women especially, let's talk diet culture, because that's the part I'm in a lot of times. It's like, just because this person says you should eat this way doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Just because this says your BMI should be that, that's bullshit too. That is not true. It's how do you feel? The world is being taught to be led by the outside, when really, if you got tapped into your body, if you listen to your body, you would be a happier person. And then the people around you, it trickles out. Right. So you find the sunshine in you, and you align with that joy, and then you're happy forever.
Yeah.
You really are. You can have, I'm saying like you have ups and downs, but if you just go right back to it,
yeah,
you're going to be good. And you're not going to let all the outside stuff get to you.
Yeah.
There's stuff happening all the time, every day.
Right.
But it really matters what the battle is within.
Yeah.
So it's a roadmap.
Yeah.
To back to yourself.
Yeah. I love that. Well, thank you, Coco. I really do appreciate you sharing all of this stuff. It's just a glimpse of, like I said, a lot of the things that I've tried and that have helped me and that bring interesting things into perspective, for many reasons. I've shared business coaches on the podcast. I've talked about how I've had different business coaches throughout throughout the business and the benefits of all of that. Well, this all ties in with that. This is why I'm looking always for ways that, to make the business excel, but that feel right and that feel good. And I honestly, genuinely mean it when I meet with clients and I'm like, hey, I'm trying to help you. I want this to be a win-win. I'm not just trying to make a sale or I'm not just trying to gain a client. I want the relationship to be what that means. It's a relationship where we both win, where I'm here to help you, but I also need you to help yourself and then help me, with being what the business needs to be organized and, taxes and all that crap, right? But thank you for being here. Please share with our audience where they can find you and where can we get some of your sunshine.
You can find me on the gram at Coco, COCO, and my last name is Owchar, OWCHAR, Wellness. That's where you can find my stuff. And I am launching a program called Sunshine University. So if you want more information or if you just want to sometimes laugh and follow me there. Yeah, it was really great. This was a great energy exchange, and I loved it. Thank you.
Thank you, Coco. And as always, please remember to follow us on Instagram at prominence.services, and our website is prominencebusiness.com. See you on the next one. So if your mindset is ready to excel to the next level, and you want to give up the multiple hats to a business who will support you, then schedule a call with us today. We can be reached at 626-825-8249. Please give us a review and share us with your friends and family.